before I get started on Persephone's Oracle, I just thought I'd let you know how I'm going to change the way that I do these videos going forward. So pretty much I'm combining my walkthroughs with my personal reviews. So at the start of the video, you'll see my just typical walkthrough of just showing you the cards, doing a reading, showing you the guidebook. The second half of the video is my personal opinions about the deck and my review of it, as well as some pairings that I used. This is an indie deck and it is from Etsy. I will put the price up above if I remember. Everything I buy is in AUD, Australian dollars. So look, I think any other country that you're buying it from, it's probably going to cost you less, because in Australia, the shipping for decks that are international is astronomical. It's astronomical, and obviously the conversion rate sucks balls. So anyway, this is Persephone's Oracle. So let's take a look, and it's by Jennifer Heather. This is the guidebook. It is quite long and large. It is on matte paper. You have an introduction here, which tells you all about Persephone's story in Greek mythology. It's both the maiden and the goddess, so the maiden of spring and the goddess of the underworld. They also talk about why they used the artwork that they used and who the artwork is by. So different painters. And then you get into the cards themselves. So we've got the title of the card with sort of a key phrase below it. Then you've got the artwork that they use, which I think is really nice to know. You've got about the card there, and at the bottom you've got some journal questions. So this card has, this deck has only 20 cards in it. So it is an itty bitty deck. But I've purchased this because I wanted a Persephone themed deck, and there were many. It came in this beautiful, I don't know if this is raw silk, but I'm guessing that's what it is, drawstring bag in this mauve pink color. And then inside you've got the actual deck of cards here. So this is a glossy box, and it's just a thumb tab, and then you open it up. So these are the backs of the cards. They're in a sort of mauve, a dark mauve, with a pomegranate. The cardstock is a satin, what I call a satin cardstock, and it's quite flexible. So cards are not edged. I'm pretty sure they're not edged, but they look quite dark compared to other cards. But let's take a look and a flip through. Okay, so they shuffle, fine overhand shuffle because they are smooth. So the cards, as you can see too, have the name of the card with the sentence below as well as some borders. So for this one, we got autonomy. There is no number on the card, so okay, autonomy. Be the orchestrator of your own destiny. Ophelia by Arthur Hughes, 1863. Do not be afraid to make your own choices, even if the consequences may be undesirable. There is empowerment in claiming your independence, in owning the defeats as proudly as the victories. It is easy to give our power away to others if we are afraid of being held accountable for our own decisions. But mistakes are necessary, valuable lessons on the path of freedom and self-ownership. Autonomy can mean stepping away from security, but it is crucial if you are to live a fulfilling life. Autonomy delivers a message that nobody is coming to save you. You must be your own savior and relentlessly pursue the life that you desire by forging your own path. Waiting for someone else to clear the path for you and show you the way is a form of passivity that may leave you frustrated and stagnant. Be decisive in your plans, taking swift and deliberate action so that you may make things happen for yourself. This card is your reminder that you are an independent person who does not need to seek permission or consent to live life on your terms. Unfortunately, being your unapologetic true self will at some point gain you the disapproval of others, but those same people are just as likely to disparage you even when you do what you think you are supposed to do. Therefore, if disapproval is inevitable, you least as well receive it for living how you want to live. If the path most travelled does not call to you, forge your own path, one thorny step at a time. Journal questions. What do you feel obligated by? And where does the obligation stem from? Write about a time you received criticism for doing what you felt obligated to do. What is the worst possible consequence to you if others disagree with your life choices? When have you delayed your plans to fit in with others? So that is how it reads, and I will now go on to the review portion of this. Hello, today I'm doing my review for Persephone's Oracle. This is a indie deck from Etsy. It's by Jennifer Heather. So this was the guidebook. You've already just seen it through my walkthrough. So I really like the guidebook. I think it is well written and the messages are great. The journal questions are phenomenal. You can make other tarot spreads based on the journal questions. So the write-ups, fantastic. The straightaway downside to this deck, it's only 20 cards, bro. The pouch is beautiful. I love the addition of that pouch. That's really sweet and lovely. 20 cards is kind of pitiful, to be honest. It's not a lot. It's a great selection. I do like the keywords that were in this deck. I think they were fantastic. But man, do I wish there was more. So these are the backs. The backs are okay. I don't love them. I don't hate them. I'm very ambivalent about them. The color is a very sort of deep browny mauve, which is okay. I've edged mine in a metallic-y mauve to match. So finding decks to go with this was really difficult. In the end, I only found one that I felt resonated visually and with the energy, and that is the Threads of Fate Lumen Edition. So these are the backs of these. This is a stunning deck in and of itself. So I'll just put this together. So as you can see, visually they go well together, I think. Anyway, I think they do, because this deck has a lot of the purples and mauves in it, which matches this one. But let's talk about this deck. So I don't really like the borders. I'm not a fan of the borders. It takes up so much of the space and I just feel like it swallows the picture inside. These read really well together, by the way, just very complimentary. The pictures that the creator chose, some of them I enjoy, some of them I'm like, no. So there's not really I've got to turn this one around. Continuity with the imagery. So far there has been a little bit. You'll see what I mean later on with some of the images like this one. I just don't think it suits at all. The style of the artwork, it just is very jarring and it takes me out of the sort of experience because I'm just noticing it. It just sticks out. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the choice of the artwork. like I said, the deck itself, I have no issue with the subject matter, the write-ups, all fantastic. So for me, this was a deck that I got specifically to use with communicating with Persephone. There really isn't a lot of decks out there that are sort of that deity focused. So that is why I purchased this one, because I just wanted something for now. And this does sort of fit the spot, but I need more. I need some more cards. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to redo it. I'm going to keep the guidebook, which I think is fantastic, but I'm going to do cards that I like the aesthetic of to go with the deck. This one is a sort of representative more of the flower maiden, goddess of spring aspect to Persephone, and that's what I wanted as well, because I'm making a Persephone themed tarot deck, but more for the goddess of the underworld, so her role in that respect. So I wanted to have the balance of both the flower goddess of spring and the shadowy queen of the underworld. So yeah, I think I'm going to redo the cards, and I'm going to add more of my own, just for my personal use, obviously, so that I have a decent oracle for Persephone. This is an absolute great start. I kind of wish now I had just purchased the PDF of this deck, because you can just buy the PDF and print it yourself, and that way I would have known straight away, oh yeah, I'm not gonna print these cards, but I'll use the guidebooks. Yeah, that's the only downside. But like I said, I just wish they had done more, because yeah, the way that they wrote up the guidebook I thought was phenomenal. So this deck, I am keeping it. I am going to modify it though, and redo some of the artwork. Like, that is a very typical Persephone artwork. That's great, but like this one, like the difference in the artwork is just too much. It's just all over the shop, you know. So I know that she says why she chose artwork in there, but yeah, for me there's just not enough continuity and congruence, so I will be redoing it at a later state, not right now. The Persephone tarot deck that I'm making, yeah, I gave myself 5 days to do it, and I have done it, but it just is a lot more time intensive than I thought, and exhausting. So I'm kind of depleted now in terms of deck creation, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time redoing the cards for this one at all. It's just going to be like, just hack something up real quick to get the job done, but something that you like visually more than this, and add some more keywords in there. So I might, use a lot of the journal prompts maybe to think of like the different oracle cards I want to add to this collection, because like I said, the guidebook is fantastic. Really big though. I don't know why they went with such a big deck instead of a smaller, thicker one. So that's a bit of an odd choice. But this was Persephone's Oracle by Jennifer Heather. I hope that you're having a promising morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, stay wild, Star Child.